Hello everyone, this is Arbit. Welcome back to another video. So this is the ADL Apocalypse Draft League Precipice Division. Yep. As I said in my other video, I was gone because holiday. I was still playing though, so this is gonna be a 2-week review of the past 2 weeks. Yep. So we're just gonna explain the matchup. I am up against normal Mewtwo, so just non-Mega, just Mewtwo, Mega Lopunny, Tinglu, Enamorus, Therian, Scizor, Haxorus, Vaporeon, Amoonguss, Darmanitan, Espathra, and Raichu. So, generally speaking, Mewtwo is pretty broken. I have very few switch-ins for it, and none that deal with all its coverage. So that's important. Mega Lopunny is also very scary. Not a lot of answers for that, but of course we do have Cofagrigus, which is kind of built into the team to deal with Mega Lopunny and Mega Medicham, so that's good to have. Tinglu is a monster. Need I say more? And yeah, basically pretty strong team. Enamorus Therian is a Pokemon I've never gone up against, and honestly has a very scary offensive coverage, especially with just Fairy Move plus Ground. Very few things switch into that, so, and nothing on my team actually switches into that, so that's very scary, and has a really strong special attack stat as well. And of course Amoonguss is there. I need something that can eat a spore for me whenever I need to. So yeah, we'll go over the team, starting off with Aggron Mega, Eternal Kingdom with a sturdy Aggronite, Body Press, Heavy Slam, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Rest Talk seemed pretty good here because Body Press and Heavy Slam I believe is just perfect coverage. Body Slam is really good in general, and then Heavy Slam can hit Enamorus really well, and yeah, I just liked how it could deal with things. It can take a Scald from Vaporeon, it can take a Spore from Amoonguss. This is basically my sponge for those statuses. So that's why this guy's here. Next up we got Queen of Thorn, the Nidoqueen, with Life Orb, Sheer Force, Modest, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Stealth Rock, and Thunderbolt. This guy is perfect coverage, is pretty bulky, can take a hit and then just maybe claim a life is the idea, or at least chip something for massive damage. This can also kind of switch into Mega Lopunny if it's going for a fighting move, or Enamorus if it's going for a fairy move, but not if it's going for a ground move. So yep, that's what this guy is here for. Next up we got Arceus Fire, Divine Flame, Flare Blitz, Dragon Dance, Recover, Flare Blitz, and Wall Charge. Pretty strong combo. This time no substitute. This guy is Recover this turn. This time because, why am I not substitute? Because I don't have Healing Wish, so I basically want Recovery over, and Longevity over, being able to hide behind a substitute. Fire Electric is near perfect coverage into this, except for Haxorus, but if I'm forcing him to use Haxorus defensively, that's a good thing for me. And of course, he can't really do much back. Flare Blitz, Flame Plate, Stab is really strong. And First Impression is resisted, so I mean, it can't do much, honestly. Next up, we got Body Bag, the Cofagrigus. So this guy is here to do his job. Mummy, Leftovers, Pain Split, Shadow Ball, Body Press, and Will-O-Wisp. This guy is here to cripple Mega Lopunny and maybe Tinglu. Body Press overrides... Sorry, no. Body Press means I don't need a hit with Vessel of Ruin. Damage reduction. And yeah, Fighting Ghost is also unresisted here. Pain Split is good for recovery. For example, if he goes Mega Lopunny, he switches out into something that can deal with it, like Tinglu or Mewtwo. Well, I don't think he goes to Mewtwo, but like, let's say Amoonguss, I can just Pain Split and get a lot of health back, so that's pretty good. Will-O-Wisp is kind of good into every single one of his mons. I don't really mind Will-O-Wisping anything, so that's why that's there. Max defense, obviously, to take on Lopunny. We got Pressure Point, the Urshifu with Choice Scarf, Close Combat U-Turn, Wicked Blow, Ice Punch. Ice Punch is for Tinglu, I think. No, it's not. It's for Enamorus, and that's it. I think I chose Ice Punch over Iron Head because Iron Head, why was it that I went for Ice Punch instead of Iron Head? I had a reason. just can't think of it right now. I think it was just because it has better coverage into a lot of stuff, like maybe Haxorus, but that's it. Didn't want to lose to a switch. Honestly, you know, if I did this again, I probably would have gone Ironhead. But yeah, that's a pressure point for you. Next up, we got Zenith with the Latias with Psychic, Mystical Fire, Roost, and Calm Mind. I like Mystical Fire here because it can actually, depending on Mewtwo set, it can cripple Mewtwo and I can just Roost on its face, so that's pretty good. It also hits Scizor, his other Psychic Resist, and obviously I don't hit Tinglu very hard, but if he doesn't have Throat Chop, he cannot hit me very well either. So that's the team. Now we'll move into the battle. We'll see how it goes. My laptop fan just turned on, so you're gonna have to deal with that. That's not my problem. Yeah, that's what I get for searching up GIFs in a giant folder, and half of them are by dex number and half of them are by name, so I don't know where to find Urshifu, so I can't find it right now. Sorry guys. But you can see the Urshifu on the board. We're up against everything that pretty much I expected. One thing I want to say, by the way, Vaporeon is allowed to run Scald in this format. I believe both of us just thought, well, I initially thought he could run Scald, but then I'm just gonna say later he uses Surf, and at that point, from then on, I thought that you're not allowed to use Scald. But it turns out later we confirmed it with the mods, and you can use Scald. So I guess the opponent just didn't know that, and I didn't know that either. But I thought I knew that before, and then thought I was wrong, and now I know I'm right again. So in conclusion, water types can use Scald. Hopefully that makes sense. Not just Volcanion, because weird people, Volcanion stealing Scald from everyone. We'll begin the battle now. We lead in Namorous. He leads in Namorous into Urshifu, and I just want to get out of there. Namorous is slow as hell, so I can just click U-turn very freely into Nidoqueen, and I actually make a big mistake here. He goes for Earth Power, and I just lose all my health. Yeah, probably should have seen that coming, given that I realized I have no good switch-in to Earth Power. Like, I mean, I have Latias, but Latias is nothing to Namorous, and, well, I'm not going to switch in Latias on Namorous turn 1, you know? Especially because he can just go Fairy Move on... I anticipate a Fairy Move. So that was a really good play on my opponent's part, doing massive chip to me. I just decided to just sack this thing here, I think, by going for... No, I just go for Stealth Rocks, just see if I can get Rocks up, because I'm faster anyway, and expecting to die. But I just click Earth Power here on Tinglu, as he goes for Throat Chop, and the Queen of Thorn goes down. But he leaves, she leaves Rocks and damage on Tinglu, which is always good. Eternal Kingdom comes in, I think going for a Body Press, as I do, doing good chip to Scizor, revealing Rocky Helmet. I switch out here to Cofagrigus because I can remove Technician if I want to, which is pretty good, but he just goes for Defog, removing my hazards for good. U-turn comes in, I steal Technician, which is amazing because I can use my Technician boosted. Nothing is Technician boosted on Cofagrigus. I go for Will-O-Wisp though on the Vaporeon. He could actually heal Bell here, but I don't think he does. I go into Aggron, eating up whatever was coming in, because I expected Scald. Once again, I expected Scald, and I was happy to, because I can rest. But he didn't, because he thought he couldn't. But he does go for Toxic. And I do wall that. He goes for Wish, as I Body Press, doing 50%, which is good. The burn negates the leftovers as well, which is great. And I can just sit here all day doing this if he wants to. I'm just using up all his wishes. And I have more Sleep Talk QP, I believe. I just go for Body Press again, bringing Scizor pretty low. I believe Roost is incoming this turn. I just go for Body Press again. I don't really care about my health, because I can rest. I just go into Latias here, though, expecting maybe a CC. Instead, he goes for U-turn, which is... Honestly, I don't know why I switched it on a CC. I think, like, I might have died to CC there, but... yeah, in that case, then obviously Cofagrigus might have been better there. I do get low now. Zenith is at half health, and it just dies to Mewtwo. Here, I'm actually really scared of Scarf Mewtwo, because he switches out here. But I just U-turn because it's free, and get into Divine Flame on the Scizor. Here, I Wild Charge, anticipating... What did I anticipate? I think I anticipated Vaporeon on the fire move. But Wild Charge does good damage to Enamorus. He goes for Protect here, as I go for another Wild Charge. So Protect is an interesting move here. He goes into Tinglu, as I just Dragon Dance up. And here I switch out because I fear Earthquake. He goes for Throat Chop though. Here I should have honestly realized that he doesn't have a... I'm going to reveal here that he doesn't have Earthquake. I probably should have noticed that given that he doesn't go for it here and it's free. So yeah. Close Combat here does good damage to Tinglu. And he gets Rocks up. So those are permanent, I believe. Yep. Close Combat again into Enamorus to deal decent chip, but you know, Leftovers just gives it all back. I go for Close Combat again, I just want momentum at this point into, I believe, Arceus to set up. And, or Aggron, sure, Aggron works too. Here I actually Heavy Slam because I'm faster than Enamorus, because Enamorus is slow as balls. And get a kill, which is great. Here I rest up because I think I live a Lopunny hit. And I start Sleep Talking. I don't get anything first turn. He does set up spikes though. And this is actually really bad because these spikes are going to be painful later. So I thought, you know, might as well eat it now and start setting up with Arceus. Here I recover, anticipating Earthquake, but he goes for Throat Chop. And now I go into Vaporeon. So I just start Dragon Dancing up. And actually at this point, I could just win. Because Wild Charge and, like I said, Wild Charge and the Flare Blitz is perfect coverage. He goes into Mewtwo, and actually here, because he's only clicked Ice Beam once, and it was into Latias, so I thought he was Choice Scarf. So you're going to see that I switch out here. He's not Choice Scarf. I think he's like Expert Belt or something, but Side Strike, I mean, yeah, I wall that, but then I die instantly. And this is going to actually be game. He reveals he's not Choice Scarf. Very annoying for me, because I was playing around that. Yeah, and as you can see, we're just gonna go down. No, we're not. He's gonna go into Tinglu because I actually live another hit. I Pain Split, anticipating the switch, and I think I Body Press here. So hanging on, Throat Chop again. Here I'm actually just hoping that Arceus lives a Throat Chop coming into all these hazards. Which you're gonna see I do in a bit, because obviously otherwise I'm just going down and can't really do anything much about it. I definitely threw here. I probably should have just clicked Flare Blitz on the Mewtwo, but as you can see here, I don't live the Throat Chop into hazards. Very scary. Yeah, that's the game. What else to say? Scarf Mewtwo was probably a bad bring here anyway because of Urshifu, so I should have anticipated it coming, blah blah blah. And even if it was Scarf, I should probably went for it because I was set up and ready to go. So you know, could have just won right there, but ended up sacking and throwing the whole game. So yeah, that's the game now. Thank you guys for watching this one. We're gonna move on to, what week is this? Week 3. We're gonna move on to week 3. As Lopunny kills me. Moving on. Alright, this is week 3, and we are up against Fluttermane, Palafin, Latios, Zapdos, Conkeldurr, Zarude, Indeedee, Clodsire, Torkoal, Orthworm, Scoville, and Cloth. So, Torkoal with Fluttermane is very scary. Torkoal with Zarude is decently scary, gets Leaf Guard. But Torkoal with Palafin is not very scary. So that's why I built around not him bringing Torkoal. I thought Palafin was really good into my team, so I figured, you know what, I don't really need to deal with Torkoal or Sun, and this is my plan. So, Shell Smash Blastoise sweeps the game once Palafin is low, or if Grassy Terrain is up, because Terrain Pulse does a lot of damage to it. Surf actually does decent enough damage into it as well, because just stab, strong attack, actually sometimes does more than just this like a coverage move. So there's that, but also I feel like Palafin's gonna come in a lot and be a big thing, and I can weaken it with my other mons. So once that's down, Blastoise wins. So that's why this is here. Cash Money, Shell Smash, Surf, Terrain Pulse, Ice Beam. And by Terrain Pulse, you can probably already tell, I'm bringing Lucio. He does have Indeedee, so I kind of want to fight that if that happens. I mean, Indeedee kind of synergizes badly as well, because Palafin's Jet Punch gets blocked, but it does synergize well with Flutter Mane, because then I can't Grassy Glide it back. So I want to Grassy Glide in order to hit Flutter Mane. Obviously, I'm Protective Pads here, because I hate Zapdos. Zapdos sucks. I cannot really hit Zapdos very hard without risking paralysis every turn. So I want to be able to click free U-turns, and that's why I brought Protective Pads. Grassy Surge obviously heals me a bit as well, and also gives me grass coverage on Blastoise. So that's why that's there. High horsepower is to catch Zapdos on a roost, and knockoff is knockoff. So yeah, that's Lucio for you. Next up, we got Emny to Snorlax. I made some switches on the team. So since last time, I dropped the Dunsparce and Cofagrigus and something else. I forget what I dropped. Let me check. I dropped Crobat. And then I also dropped Rotom Frost. Yeah, so I dropped 4 things. I dropped Rotom Frost, the Dunsparce, Cofagrigus, and Crobat. And then I picked up 3 guys. So I picked up Snorlax, Thundurus Therian, and Hatchram. So actually I'm just gonna restate my entire team now. Urshifu, Single Strike, Arceus Fire, Rillaboom, Latios, no sorry not Latios, Latias, Mega Aggron, Blastoise, Nidoqueen, Comfey, Snorlax, Thundurus Therian, and Hatchram. So yeah, Snorlax is here. I might explain my changes later, but basically I just wanted something more top heavy so that I could actually bring more good stuff every game. And I felt like Rotom Frost, Cofagrigus, and the Dunsparce weren't those. And also Cofagrigus already did its job last week, so, and actually someone traded away Mega Metachamp, so I thought, you know what, its job is done. I don't need you anymore. Thank you very much. So, and that's why we got these changes. Snorlax is here with a Life Orb and Immunity. Yawn, Rock Slide, Body Slam, and Iron Head. Interesting set. I just thought, you know, I switch in on Flutter Mane, and I just get to claim a life every time. He doesn't have many answers to Body Slam. His Steel type is Orthworm, which isn't great. His other resist is Cloth, which isn't great, and of course his immunity is Flutter Mane, which I'm here to answer. Iron Head obliterates it. I can Yawn something on the switch. And Rock Slide is to hit Zapdos non-contact, and basically that's it. That's the set. Pretty simple. Snorlax is nice. I like using it in what's it called? LBA. So I thought I'd use it again. We got Pressure Point the Urshifu with the Choice Band this time. U-turn, Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow, Stone Edge. Stone Edge is also to hit Zapdos. I was actually really scared of Zapdos this game because I thought it was really good into me. U-turn, Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow. So lots of dark moves. I believe Banded Sucker Punch kills Flutter Mane, and that's why that's there. I get walled by Conkeldurr, but that's okay. I don't think Conkeldurr is great in this matchup anyway. And let's see, I think I also wanted it to be banded to break past Clodsire because Wicked Blows do a lot of damage. Right. Next up we got Zenith, the Latias with Choice Scarf, Defog, Draco Meteor, Scythe Shock, Healing Wish. They got a Clodsire, they got hazards. They also got Cloth, they got Earthworm, they got Torkoal, they got so many hazards. I had to bring the Fog, but I felt like all his hazards are kind of like a one-off kind of thing. Like I feel like they'd set up hazards and then stop setting up hazards. They like do other stuff, you know. So I felt like we don't need crazy removal, just removal. So Draco Meteor Scythe Shock is actually really good into this team. Draco Meteor hits everything for neutral or more, except Flutter Mane and Orthworm. And Orthworm isn't coming. I'm gonna tell you that much because it's Orthworm and it's not allowed to use Shed Tail. I don't think. Wait, can it? No, it cannot. It cannot use Shed Tail. So Scythe Shock is here for Flutter Mane, and it actually 2 KOs, I believe. So that's great. That's why we're here. Latias is pretty strong, and of course Healing Wish is good to restore health to anything that I need. For example, Snorlax, Blastoise, if I already used it earlier, something like that. So there we have it. And lastly, we got Arceus Fire here with Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, and Recover. Yeah, so Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz is strong once again. This thing gets walled by Palafin, but if I set up enough Dragon Dances before Palafin comes in, Extreme Speed can chip it for good damage. And hopefully Palafin would have come in enough times for me to bring it low, hopefully. But yeah, his other fire resists are Torkoal and Latios. And Latios doesn't take Flare Blitz well. And Torkoal I didn't think was coming, and even if you did, you set up the sun for me, so thank you very much. Yeah, so that's the team. We'll go into the battles now. My fan is still going on, but I think it's quieter now, so maybe it's slightly less loud. But yeah, we're gonna get started with this battle. Obviously, he brings Zarude and Didi. He brings in Didi and Torkoal, which is interesting. What else does he bring? He brings all the scary stuff, basically. He doesn't bring Zapdos, which I was actually really surprised to see, because I thought it walled my stuff. And yeah. Later, he actually tells me, my opponent just tells me Zapdos missed a bunch of Hurricanes in the past game, so that's why they benched it this week. So yeah, pro tip for Draft League: if your opponent has a special flying type Pokemon, check if it's missed Hurricane in the past 2 weeks, because if it has, chances are they're not bringing it. So yeah, use that. We're gonna start off the game. Urshifu leads off into Torkoal, and I go for a Wicked Blow. And, you know, I didn't even realize Sun doesn't go up here. And from that, we can probably tell it's either White Smoke or Shell Armor. And I don't think he would have gone for White Smoke. So I probably should have realized this is Shell Armor Torkoal for turn 1. But I didn't. I just brainlessly clicked Wicked Blow, expecting to 2-hit KO it. Instead, I take Rocky Helmet Chip. Plus, rocks are up now. I believe this guy was also lagging during the battle. So that's what... Yeah, we had discussions about that inside. Took me one turn to realize this is Shell Armor Torkoal. So yeah, here we go into Latias as the Lava Plume goes off. Dodge the burn, which is okay, I guess. It's alright. I just go for a Draco here, because why not? Indeedee comes in as he goes Flutter Mane. I just Draco again, because I thought, you know, if he's going to play around... If he took my Draco turn 1, he might just stay in and take it again, who knows? And getting rid of Indeedee was pretty big for me, because why not? I don't have to mess around with Rillaboom Wars, Terrain Wars. So I go to Snorlax, obviously, as my Flutter Mane answer. Take in some Rocks Chip. He goes for Shadow Ball, and I just am immune now. I go for a Yawn, because I know he's going to switch out. And here I make a big misplay. He's a Zarude who's yawned. What's he going to do? He's going to leave, so he's going to click U-turn. But I thought, you know, oh wow, I actually have no good switch-ins to like a good grass move, and you know, Latias is already low-ish. Is it low? Yeah, Latias is kind of low, and I don't want to take a dark move. What should I do? And then I'm really dumb. Of course he's gonna click U-turn. He's drowsy. I forget I yawned him, and then I switch in Rillaboom, and I take massive amounts of chip from this. I do override the grass though. It's the Psychic Terrain. But yeah, this is a really bad play on my part. He just goes into Indeedee and just gets Psychic Terrain up again. I go back into Snorlax to eat whatever he's going to try and throw at me. Hyper Voice comes in, as this time I go for a Body Slam. Doing 49%, which is pretty good, but Darkest Lariat now kills me. So yeah, I just threw the entire Snorlax plan out the window. Should have probably gone into Arceus there on the U-turn, or stayed in and just body slammed. You know, I was just scared, like, oh, I'm low, I might just you know, what was I gonna say? I'm low, I might die to like a Darkest Lariat. But he wasn't gonna Darkest Lariat, because even if he killed me, he would have fallen asleep, which is bad for him. And yeah, I should have definitely stayed in there and just body slammed. But you know, that's the Arbit experience. You forget what you planned your mons to do. Urshifu comes in. It's a free U-turn for me, so I just U-turn on the Torkoal. Get Rocky Helmet Chip, and I go into Zenith. I Draco Meteor once again, I believe. Or do I Side Shock? Actually, yeah, I do read the Side Shock. So Side Shock's great here. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was probably really happy when this happened. Because I pretty much knew he knew I had Draco Meteor, and so I went for Side Shock. And I basically just kill Fluttermane here. Huge for me, because Snorlax is dead, so if Fluttermane was still alive, that would have been a problem, because my answer to Fluttermane is dead. So that's, thank God for that. I go into Urshifu now, on the Zarude, going for a U-turn. Once again, switching in my things that don't resist Bug onto the move. That's very obviously going to be Bug. Urshifu comes in, and I Sucker Punch it. Latios, trying to kill it. Trying to figure out what kind of Latios it is. Initially it was like fearing like Scarf or Specs or something like that. I go into Latias again because, you know, it's a free switch into Torkoal every time. Honestly, by the way, great brain on my opponent's part. Shell Armor Torkoal. I never would have thought about that, so great brain. Draco is now free, by the way, so I just claimed a life. He goes into Torkoal once again. I don't care. Torkoal's special defense is piss poor, so I just keep clicking Draco Meteor until he dies. So now Latias is so great. I love it. It's so fun. It's bulky, it's strong, it's fast, everything. Anyways, I override the grassy terrain now that indeed he's dead. And he goes into Latios. He substitutes, so that's interesting. And I just try and Grassy Glide because I'm pretty sure Grassy Glide breaks 0 HP Latios' substitute. Doesn't break the sub. Psychic kills me, but that's actually good. That's good information for me, because... Why is that good? Because he's max defense Latios. And later we're going to confirm he is still fast, so his special attack is garbage. I go into Latias here. I think I tried to Healing Wish, as I do. I was considering it was probably a slower Latios or something, so yeah. I went into Urshifu, click Sucker Punch once, as Aura Sphere does good damage to me. Thank God for that Healing Wish, because now I'm still alive. Switches down to Palafin as I Sucker Punch again. He hasn't revealed Calm Mind yet, so I was just happy to click Sucker Punch. Maybe it was just a subset. But he starts bulking up into regular Palafin, which I think is a throw on his part. Because honestly, I was in a pretty bad position at this point. I sacked my Rillaboom, I sacked my Snorlax. Latias was way more chipped than it needed to be, and now it's gone. Arceus can't really sweep here. At this point, I was honestly really wishing I had Wall Charge, but I don't. Jet Punch does amazing damage to me, but not 50% because he hasn't switched out. I don't know why he's bulking up here. He could just switch out anytime he wanted to. But here I start trying to chip down Palafin because it's a threat. It reveals to be bulk up taunt, which that's what I anticipated. But you know, now I go with Blastoise, trying to eat the Jet Punch because I can't eat them anymore with Arceus. He taunts me to stop Shell Smash, which I knew was going to happen because he revealed Jet Taunt. So I thought, you know, might as well Surf. I actually do good damage here, 27%, not bad. 2 more and he's dead. Close combat. I don't know why he did that. But yeah, Jet Punch was pretty free there. Or he could just keep bulking up, honestly, in my face, because I don't do that much damage. Close combat was an interesting reveal. I thought he would bring Drain Punch, because if he brought Drain Punch, he just lost. I just won there. No, sorry, he just won there. If he was Drain Punch, he would have just won there, is what I was trying to say. So close combat, we're going to see. Lowers his special defense, and then my Surf kills because I am Torrent. I am in Torrent range. I completely forget about starter abilities sometimes. But yeah, we were trying to think about like why this killed. Like this did like double the damage after a close combat drop, and we completely forgot about Torrent after the battle. But yeah, Cash Money, huge kill here, claiming a life and just killing Palafin. I don't know why he bulked up in normal form, so that was an interesting choice on his part. He could have just switched out into Zarude at any point. But now Cash Money is dead, so I just decided to spam Ice Beam to stop Latios from setting up those substitutes. And as you can see, I'm just breaking them. Shaking off the taunt. I think I Ice Beam again. Good damage, maybe fishing for freeze as well. I think I still kill here. He should have gone for another Calm Mind here, honestly. But he finally Aura Spheres me and kills me. I think that turn I Shell Smashed so that I could still break it if he Calm Mind again. Urshifu now comes in and he goes for Substitute. I decide to go for a U-turn because I thought that was the best play there. Because I don't think he was going to go for an attack because he knows I have Sucker Punch. So I go for U-turn because that also kills the root if that happens. Arceus Fire is actually now just free to click Flare Blitz and win the game because Latias is not going to be able to eat that Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz kills it, and I was thinking for a second, does this kill the root? And it does. So that's the game. Pretty intense game. Definitely threw a lot. Drinking water is important, guys. Drink lots of water. Yeah, that was an interesting game for sure. I don't know why he stayed in Palafin, but I'm gonna take that win because I feel like I should have won that previous game, and I threw. So it's only fair that this week they threw, and we should do this beautiful cycle every week of them throwing and I throw. So yeah, that's another loss and a win for the Kowloon Comp phase and the ADL. Hopefully we win the next week. Yeah, see you guys next week. Yeah.